You are in the right place at the right time with the right people learning about how to book your business in corporate. So thank you for being here. I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. Day 3 of our challenge. Sparkle fingers, this is awesome. We have really been doing it, really exploring corporate coaching and how awesome it is. And I'm Kathleen Caldwell. I am just so delighted to be the founder of this council and to really lead, guide, mentor, aspire, cheer, and be the sage on the side of guiding and mentoring women to be their best in coaching, to be a great consultant, to really serve the world. And we know from the statistics that right now in the world with COVID, all the layoffs, things that are happening, pre-COVID, there were about 2 million people who identified as coaches on LinkedIn. Now the statistic is over 4 million. Okay. So in just a couple of years' time, again, the coaching and consulting industry has exploded. And so here we are learning best practices, learning how to break into corporate and how to unlock that corporate coaching code. Just to set a quick context, I have a lot of experience. I've got to revise this because my corporate coaching clients include also General Motors, include Walgreens. Oh my goodness, I've got so many other clients that I could list here, but I love the idea. You can see from this slide, I also have a lot of local companies as well. And so I believe, and I'm a real advocate of a global strategy. You do global business and you also do local business. So there's a whole methodology on that, which we'll cover again at some point in the great detail, because there's a real strategy about that to learn. So day 1, just quickly, I'm not even going to do a recap because we've got the recordings up on our YouTube channel, but day 1 was all about your why and their why, and the first stage to successfully launching your corporate coaching business. Day 2 was how to get into corporate. And I'm just going to do a couple quick recaps on that because it is so important on how to approach companies, how to be viewed from the very get-go as a trusted advisor, as a sole source, as a party of one, and as the only coach in the mix. So you can avoid, with all the strategies we're talking about now, they're not going to have to go out to bid. You can be the sole source. You can be prime in the eyes of your ideal client. And isn't that what we want? We want to be prime. We want to be useful. We want to make a bigger impact. So this whole program is our 3-day Unlock the Corporate Coaching Challenge. And, with corporate coaching, the code is different at different levels. The code to get in to do a speech or a talk or a lunch and learn, there's one code to get into that. And that's really awesome. But guess what? There's another code to unlock and to learn to move into then doing a transformational project, in doing leadership development and team building and VIP coaching and executive coaching and all these great things that coaches want help with. Okay. We know that organizations are stretched so thin in today's economy. They don't have the resources to have a huge internal staff of coaches. And we know that the coaching ROI, it's been, done and redone. We know the ROI is there. And so here's just a quick little list. We talked about this more extensively yesterday, but organizations, corporations, small, medium, and large companies, global businesses, international businesses, subsidiaries, they're hiring coaches and consultants for a variety of things. But the bottom line is they're hiring coaches for results. Okay. So here's just a little menu of the things that you get the great opportunity to flex into. I just am so delighted. I just got a new agreement, a new contract to do a strategic planning initiative for a board of directors in my local area. And that is so exciting to me because each of these board members are titans in business. These people are so well connected. They're volunteers. They're delightful, awesome people. And I get the opportunity with this strategic planning. Honestly, I shouldn't even really say this, but I'd pay them for the opportunity. They're paying me, but I'd pay them for the opportunity because I get this great time with each of these leaders. And there will be about 39 people in the room. And I get to make an impact with each of these people to impact the organization. And so every opportunity, having your radar up, sisters, on how you can take one opportunity, one small little opportunity, and turn it into gold. Gold for yourself, your company, for the participants, for their companies, for your communities. It's really awesome. Okay. So if we have one mindset shift for today and during our challenge is looking to see how you can really cultivate more opportunity, even at every stage of the engagement. Okay. And if you have comments, questions, feel free, just jump right in because we just want to go through kind of a quick recap of the last 2 days. So unlocking the code, of course, is knowing what your specialization is. What's your niche? We can't be a coach consultant for every company, every circumstance, but where do you have historical experience? What are you passionate about? What's your point of view? What do you want to be known for in your corporate coaching business? And what solutions do you have and how can you add value? Doesn't mean we're staying there forever, but it's just the important place to start. And most importantly, what are the problems you are helping them solve? Okay. What are the opportunities you're helping them to create? What are the aspirational things that they want for their organization? Okay. And so through all of this is really about people and how you can make an impact with people. Okay. We all know the statistics that with work-life balance, with wellness, people are spending so much time at work always that it really impacts every area of their life. So if they're not happy at work, it means that it translates over to their home life and vice versa. You can make a positive difference. Okay. So very quickly as a recap, yesterday and the day before, we had a really powerful strategy. Again, I'm just going to recap it. And in our year-long women's corporate coaching and consulting program, we really get into the nitty-gritty. We do a lot of role modeling and coaching on this, tactics on how to do each step. But this is just an overview. This is all a maze, and thinking about making a list. First of all, it's just making a list. And what I love to do is do research on my local community. Who are the top companies in my local area? And what are the types of businesses that they're in? Hospitality, service, manufacturing, finance, all these kinds of things. Who is in your backyard? Who's within about 100-mile radius, if that's what you want, and even broader? And what then with these companies, what are the kinds of problems that you can help them solve? And really honing into what's the impact of the problems if they don't get them solved. We know things do not get better on their own, okay? And making that list and making a list of your top 20 people who know you, like you, and trust you. And then a strategy we talked about in great detail yesterday is connecting with them. Again, we're not trying to sell them or get something booked on the first call. We're just making a contact. It's so nice to do it on a local basis because you've got this common thing, so many common things in your backyard with events and kids in school and people that you know. It gives you this nice kind of hometown flavor. It's really great. So making a list of your 20 people, or even going on your LinkedIn, who are the people in your tribe, your community, that really are great prospects for you. And so connecting with them via any means possible, and the point of this is just to get in connection with them. And I love a strategy of using, we talked about this in great detail yesterday, it's a connect, research, and share strategy. It's a 3-phase process. We're going to connect with these people. We're going to do research with these wonderful folks, and then we're going to share the results of our strategy. Okay. That then sets you up to be the expert. You are learning about what are the problems and opportunities in, for instance, hospitality or manufacturing or finance or sales and marketing, really setting this person up as the thought leader that you are going to learn more about their industry. Okay. You're doing research because you want to be in service to this industry. Okay. So sharing the findings through a white paper, through what's next, which is a conversation, and following up. Because during our strategy yesterday, we talked about setting things up. We're always seeding, laying little breadcrumbs for what's next. And as you all know, this is called spiral marketing, which we're always focusing in on what's next, what's next. The thing that you're creating with them now creates a new problem. And so with a new problem comes a new solution. And so we're really spiraling up to more opportunities. So you've already laid the groundwork for, may I share the findings with you after I do my research? And so coming back in, and it's very easy because you're warmed, the relationship's warmed up. Hey, I just completed my research and I learned authentically now, really authentically, I learned some trends and I learned some data that I think you want to know about the priorities, what's happening. And I just want to quickly get you up to date. And so when are you available in the next week or two to have a 15-minute, 20-minute conversation? Okay. So we're assuming the close, assuming the opportunity to talk with them. Okay. Any questions, comments as I pause for a moment? I know I'm going about 100 miles an hour here. Good. So we're just getting the conversation going. And then the next step is and again, we're sorting, sisters, we're sorting, we're just sorting, having a fun time, sharing information that's really important. We're sharing our heart, we're sharing our knowledge. If someone says, no, I don't have time or blah, 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 it's okay. We just want to do a nurture campaign to keep nurturing that relationship. And so when they say yes, and invariably, I assure you, they will say yes, because they want to know what their competitors are doing in the marketplace. So we share, here's the results of my survey. Here's what I found out. We're not going to name names, or we're not going to say companies, keep that all confidential, but we want to establish the relationship with the person, establish that, hey, once you share this information, they're going to invariably say, I tell you, they will say, we have that situation too. We've got a need for that too. And then just naturally, easily with the scripts that we provide to you, you don't have to go this alone. We've got great scripts in our program. Is what then is, if you were solving this situation, what's the budget or the timeline that you would have? And we're talking about the impact and the implication, and we're talking about the key stakeholders. The interview process is quite extensive, but this is kind of the bottom line. And we also are then looking for who in the organization has the ability and the authority to commit to some next steps. Okay. So in that informational, conversation, we're not looking to book the business right then and there. We're looking to get the relationship going, move to the next step, warm things up. Okay. Always seeding for what's next. Okay. Make sense? Yeah. I think that a lot of people are on this strategy, and this is one of a dozen strategies that we're sharing in the program, because one size does not fit all. Okay. So it's really important to not, in this conversation, not move to, well, can I submit a proposal to you? And when you're going to be making a decision and all that, it's like, no, just seed things, because this is not a unlock the corporate coaching code success in 24 hours program. Okay. This is a longer term program. It doesn't have to be a year-long program to have success, but it's a nurture campaign. And so after we learn more about the company, we're finding about what is going on with them, and we share the research that we've done, we're then going to begin the next step, which is learning more about what it is that they really want. What are their needs specifically? What are the things that just lays the groundwork for your person to make introductions for you to other people in the corporation? Okay, so we want to really kind of spread out, meet more people, have more conversations that are really targeted. You're the expert. Okay, you're not selling, you're providing valuable data and great information and great opportunities. And of course, we want to serve them at all times with what they want, but then we'll be delivering what we know they need. All right, great. And so the general overview is of this whole process to unlock the corporate coaching code is knowing the code at each level. And so, as you know, we're starting with awareness, building awareness. We're then building interest at the second phase, and then working towards making a decision. What's next? What are the next opportunities? Oh, you've got a sales meeting coming up with your team. Great. Let's talk about that. What's the theme? What are the outcomes? What are the opportunities? What is top of mind? What do people really need to know? What are the pain points? What are they dealing with? And then we help them make a decision that you are the right choice for that particular event or opportunity, and then encourage them and have them take action. Okay. So contract stage, sole source stage, all those kinds of things come afterwards. And that's more advanced, but getting in the door and booking that first initial conversation is key. Okay. And then taking action. So the first step of the action is just writing down a list of the 20 companies or individuals that know you, like you, and trust you, and just get that list going and start the process just to make contact with them, learn more about their companies. Do they hire coaches? What do they have going on? What are their big strategic imperatives for 2023? Great question. Great. What are their key strategic imperatives for 2023? And how's it going? What's happening with their leadership teams? What's happening with their team building teams? We just want to open the door for more conversation. All right. And so taking action, and then, I'd like to just pause here, get your voices in the room. What are your thoughts? How do you like this? Maybe you're just like ready to jump off our little masterclass here and get going on your list, right? I'm going to pause here and do a screen share and get us back to gallery mode. What are you thinking? What do you like about this?
You've clearly challenged us, certainly even before the call, to look locally, which I had been more dismissive of. And I think it's just the reminder of taking a moment and thinking about the community in which I live in and looking for companies that may be different than what I'm used to working for, and creating a new list.
And of course, Gloria, you have got such a seasoned leadership development corporation and organization that literally the wealth of people you're already serving, they all know people in different companies. They all know people in different associations that they belong to. They already can make great introductions. And I know you do that already, leveraging your alumni, leveraging these great relationships that you have.
Indeed.
Very nice. Great. Good. Thank you. Thank you.
I loved being so strategic about it, right? Doing the research and having that to help you, create what they need to really understand. Because we think often as coaches and consultants, we think we know what they need, but if we really interview people and really just, figure out what that landscape is like, and it'll just help us with our programs and how we speak to them, the word choices we use, when we're talking to them. So I really love that research thing. It's nothing new in marketing, right? But it's something that we forget about as coaches and consultants, for us to still do the research.
Very, very great, Sheila. Thank you. And, to continue to elevate yourself as you do, to be the trusted advisor, the expert, the thought leader in these areas. And especially for women, it's so interesting to me that, perhaps I'll get dinged on this, on YouTube or whatever, but it's such an anomaly for us to go into industries and marketplaces and vertical markets that typically are not women-centric. It's so interesting and stimulating and fun. And probably the most enjoyable things that I've been is manufacturing. My county is rich with manufacturers, and it was not really my background. I didn't really study it in school, but I got really up to date so quickly. And I have to say, it provided such stimulation for me to be able to learn more about this. So exciting, always an opportunity to grow and learn, and then make a mark in this male-oriented, male-dominated, kind of different kind of industry. Yeah, yeah. Thoughts for each of you about, different industries you've gone into or businesses that maybe weren't kind of your sweet spot, but you grew to like them.
I think, the real estate industry is something that I didn't know a lot about, but you have all these people that basically own their own business. And so how are they positioning themselves through their branding, through their image, gaining that market share. So that was an industry that I really hadn't thought about, but has really become something that is intriguing to me. And there's a huge opportunity there.
It's so interesting that you say that too, because when you're talking about it, it's like, oh gosh, that does make sense, especially for what you do. That, it's how do we search for it without just glossing over and thinking that's not that's not a market that I go after, not a market that I see. For me, Kathleen, you say manufacturing, that was my background, being in human resources and an underserved market. So that became the easy one to go after. And it was fun. And where I find myself now is with a lot more trucking clients, which seems very odd. And yet the trucking industry has been growing by leaps and bounds, and companies are consolidating, and you got small companies and big companies. It's been a much more dynamic space than I would have thought it would have been before getting exposed to the trucking side of things. And talk about male dominated, right?
Yeah.
Working
absolutely.
to change that.
Well, a couple things, Gloria, I cannot wait to make an introduction for you to a business that I know that is woman owned and highly successful in the trucking industry and transportation and logistics. And so I can't wait to make that referral to you, because I think you would be even a better fit for this organization. And so, because I'm working through the supply chain, and I think that, again, this is a great example of we can partner and be able to bring in our best. And, I don't lose anything by this. I get to gain through partnerships, alliances, affiliates, all kinds of wonderful things. And so great, delighted to do that. And Sheila, I think the metaphors, don't we all need to upgrade our curb appeal?
I have that in my book. Yes.
Yeah, great.
Dealing with large sums of money, you want to,
Yes.
people need to write that impression is a big deal if you're dealing with, multi-million-dollar homes.
Indeed.
Yes. And we had such a rich conversation as we kind of wind down our time together. We had such a great conversation beforehand about how kind of the deservability of the multi 6 and 7 and 8 figure and 9 figure opportunities, because these wonderful opportunities can turn into very big deals for a coach and consultant that literally can transform your life. I mean, it's remarkable. And so having the mindset of being able to, hey, we're not just a coach or consultant, we're really partnering to transform the business and transform people's lives. And we do it through our frameworks and our systems and our processes and who we are. But we're really a partner. We're really a caring contributor to a company's success and their employees' success. And so for me, changing the mindset about all this is that I'm just not a coach coming in and doing transactional work. No, I am committed to their mission. I am like an extension of their employees. And so I believe also that shift, that all-inness has helped me have very significant multi-corporation in the corporation, corporation throughout the whole supply chain, really be a trusted partner and advisor, which then it's possible to earn the larger 6, 7, 8, 9 figure projects. And it's really fun because we get to work with people that we enjoy working with. It's It's really great, and multi-year opportunities. So we just never know when that one speaking gig could turn into something really big if we cultivate it right. Yes, great. Anything else before we complete our time? I am so excited. I'm like, I want to complete this, and like, I want it ready to get going again on this, to not only lead groups of women coaches and consultants to do this work, but also to do it for myself. And I think that that's really important, is we've got to be also cultivating our own book of business. So we're really aware of what's happening in the world, and we can walk the talk and lead from experience. So maybe that's another takeaway from me, is keep doing what you're doing all the time so you know what's happening on the ground. Yeah, great. Okay, so as we complete, let me finish sharing my screen, and really so grateful to you, to the two of you, and to all of you who have attended our challenge. We had a 3-day challenge, and on a side note, I encourage each of you to do a challenge. Do a challenge. It is challenging to do a challenge. Think about doing a challenge for your ideal clients, for your community, for the people who are interested in the topics that you teach. It helps with your IP. It helps with your content development. It's fun, and it's like a rally cry to get yourself in motion. So that's a kind of a separate conversation, but we in our Women's Coaching and Consulting Council and our Corporate Coaching and Consulting Council, we are going to be focusing in a lot on challenges. And so taking action is really the key. And so just as a next step, I invite you, if you're interested in expanding, maybe even starting a new aspect of your corporate coaching and consulting business, or you're thinking about launching or growing, come join us in the Women's Success Accelerator, a year-long program to start and grow your masterminds, your councils, how to really succeed in corporate coaching, because you can create councils, masterminds, groups, opportunities within corporate. Goodness knows they don't have the capacity to be doing this, and you can be the one leading these programs in corporations. Really exciting. So there's so many different angles to how you can be successful. And of course, everything you need about sales and marketing funnels, how to monetize your IP, how to have really the success mindset that you are a global, transformational 7, 8, 9-figure coach and consultant. You're in demand, okay? And let's face it, sisters, the world has been filled with big name male coaches, okay? When you think, I've done this survey hundreds of times, and I ask women specifically, who are the top 3 coaches that you think of? And I always get the same 3 men's names, okay? We got to change that, girls. We got to change that. And so I want your name to be at the top of the list. And so ultimately, there's an opportunity for you to have this freedom lifestyle where you're working with some key clients and you're doing the work you love, but you're not working 24/7, okay? So the opportunity is to get your own boss within the Women's Success Accelerator. You're a board of success sisters. So the doors are now open, and I invite you to schedule a time with me on Calendly or send me a text. Let's have a conversation about what's next for you in your corporate coaching and consulting business. And so thank you. As we complete, we know now's the time, okay? A year from now, there could be 2 million more coaches and consultants in the market. We never know. And I'm delighted about more competition, because I think it brings more awareness to the world about how awesome coaching is. But really the time is now for you. We've got to take action on this, taking a small action, okay? And so as we complete, love to hear just a takeaway from you about what was your biggest takeaway from our challenge, and so appreciate you being on our broadcast. Just your biggest takeaway, and we'll complete our time. Thank you. And if there's a little next step, I will nudge you into that as well.
Yeah, overall, the word that comes to mind for the last 3 days is strategic. Right? Really having that strategy. I love, 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 love the research part of it. That'll probably be a takeaway for me in the next step.
Great. Thank you, Sheila. Oh my gosh. Excellent.
Yay. For me, two things. One is I'm with Sheila on the strategic side, the strategy around it. And then that connects it back to what was discussed on Monday, which is coming back to the why, right? And why are we doing this? And what is it that I do that can help with that and feed that into the strategy side of things.
Very nice. Very nice. Gloria, wonderful. Okay, sisters, we got to go now. You know, the world is waiting for us. They're not waiting for some other coach or consultant that's leadership or branding, what I know. They're waiting for us because of our unique value, who we are, and what we can do to support and guide and mentor them. So the time's now. Okay. So thank you. Lots of love to each of you. Thanks for watching the rebroadcast too. To all of you, our global community is growing, 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 and we so appreciate you. Thank you. Bye for now.